At long last, the freshly repaired U-boat slipped free of her concrete shelter and set course towards the Bay of Biscay. After spending so much time in port, U-960 almost smelled like new. Almost. Provisions were stowed in every available corner, more so than usual. This was going to be a long patrol. U-960 followed closely behind the minesweeper as we made it out of the harbor. The boat was equipped with a brand new piece of technology, akkuRa, a radar warning receiver similar to Metox, but fitted with an improved antenna. Unlike the old Biscay Cross, it does not require dismantling before diving, and the watch crew topside does not have to manually rotate the antenna by hand. U-960 is one of the first boats equipped with this new akkuRa radar detector, and is quickly being rolled out as the Metox radar warning receiver was banned. Reportedly, Allied air crews were capable of homing in on Metox signals. This was a shocking revelation to us all. It is hard to put so much faith in this new technology when the Allies are capable of such innovation. Regardless, we were assured that this new radar detector did not have the same flaws as Metox. Unfortunately, while in port, we were not able to acquire the new T5 or T4 acoustic homing torpedo. These torpedoes are in high demand, and I certainly would like to get my hands on them. Once launched, the torpedo will steer itself towards the strongest propeller noise in the area, in most cases, an escort vessel. I was very keen on acquiring one of these new homing torpedoes, however, it was not to be. I couldn't help but think it would have been of great use during our last patrol. Despite the severe damage U-960 sustained during our third patrol, BDU expressed satisfaction with our results. Over the course of July 28th and the 29th, we effectively shattered a third of an Allied convoy, a modest success sent against the increasingly heavy losses in the Atlantic. Patrol 3 concluded with 7 ships sunk, totaling approximately 43,000 tons. This included 2 tankers, especially valuable targets. Oil has become the lifeblood of both war efforts, and each side now works relentlessly to disrupt the other supply wherever possible. While on leave in Berlin, the radio broadcasts boast triumphantly of recent successes in the air. The Allies had launched a major low-level attack using 4-engine bombers against Ploiești, one of Germany's principal fuel sources in Romania. Official reports claimed the raid caused little meaningful damage. Later in the month, another so-called victory was announced over the skies of Remagen, where the Luftwaffe reportedly struck the heavy bomber formations hard. The party propagandists celebrated loudly, repeating the familiar assurances that the enemy air forces are weakening and that final victory in the skies over Europe is near. I have heard these same declarations since 1940. The air raids are, however, having an effect. The lengthy repair period for U-960 proves as much. The boat remained in port for more than 2 months. Supplies and parts were repeatedly delayed by disruptions, warehouses destroyed, rail lines cut, and ongoing sabotage. No doubt the work of the French resistance. Progress came slowly, piece by piece. More bad news for the Reich came in as the months rolled on and repairs continued. On September 3rd, reports were coming in that the Allies have landed on Italy proper. A few days later, Italy surrendered to the Allies and declared war on Germany. The Wehrmacht is holding firm up in northern Italy for the time being. It is against this backdrop that U-960 deploys to sea once more. The Battle of the Atlantic is not going much better for the U-boats either. A total of 25 U-boats went down in the month of August. Most of these U-boats went down thanks to aircraft. U-960 is stuffed with all sorts of food, from cured meats to fresh loaves of bread, fresh fruit, and much more. We are carrying a lot more food than normal, because this patrol is going to be a longer one than normal. U-960's third patrol would take us to America's doorstep. Once there, our boat is to prowl the shipping lanes from Venezuela to the refineries off the American coast. To reach these distant waters, we are going to have to refuel and resupply at U-488, a milk cow positioned in the mid-Atlantic. The boat would have to refuel on the way back home to France as well. This patrol would take our boat further than any of our previous 2 patrols combined. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome back aboard the bridge of U-960 as we begin our third patrol here in the Atlantic. This time, instead of heading north towards Iceland, we are heading south, so we do have a nice change in scenery. We have already broken through the Bay of Biscay. We picked up some radar emissions a couple of times, but we're able to dive early enough in advance. The part of that is thanks to our new radar warning receiver, akkuRa here, which is a rather capable piece of equipment, especially when compared to the Biscay Cross. Now, one of the main advantages of this new antenna here is that it does not have to be dismantled and brought down below decks before a dive. It also does not have to be rotated manually by hand, so that is definitely very nice for the watch crew topside. So far, the new radar warning receiver seems to be working rather well for us. We'll see how it holds up as the war progresses. Now, if we head over to the map, you can see we have already patrolled quite a ways. We are heading towards the west here, and we are going to patrol just south of the Azores here, because there are some pretty big convoy routes coming up from Africa all the way to the United Kingdom, and they kind of pass in this area. Once we have completed this, we are going to patrol kind of grid DH 41 and 44 for maybe a couple of days before proceeding on to the west, where we will refuel at U488. And once we are done with that, we are heading all the way to our patrol area past Bermuda and into grid DC 27 to be specific. And this is a very interesting patrol area, and I'm quite excited to actually conduct this patrol. Heading off towards the eastern coast of the United States is going to be, again, very different than what we have grown accustomed to. Now, maybe if we don't find much, we will proceed on south to the Caribbean. We'll see what's going on down there. Hopefully some of these areas are a little more lightly defended compared to, you know, the United Kingdom itself. Anyway, the reason I'm patrolling here, I want to blast off a handful of our torpedoes before we actually refuel at U488. Now, the U-tanker will, of course, fill us up on fuel, food, but also torpedoes. Now, they won't rearm the boat completely, but if we're lucky, we may get 4 or 5 eels loaded into the boat. So we'll see if we can find anything down here. We have been at port for quite a while, well over 2 months, mostly because of the pitiful state U960 was in after our last patrol. And because of that, we have some tonnage to make up for. We were quite lucky on the crew front. No one was transferred on or off the boat, so we are using the same crewmen that we had previously. That being said, one of our petty officers did get the repairman qualification, which is going to be much needed as the war progresses. Our past 2 patrols have seen U960 get absolutely rocked by Allied escorts, and part of me thinks that this patrol is going to be no different. Let's go ahead and submerge the boat. We'll do a quick hydrophone check here, down to 25 meters. The water is rushing over the deck, and we are dropping down, passing 14 meters. Good stuff. Okay, reduce speed. I'll head slow here. And down to 25. Perfect. Let's open up the hatches. And we are going to go take a listen on the hydrophone. See if we can hear anything going on out here. Like I said, we haven't picked up much so far since the patrol started. Presumably just some aircraft in the Bay of Biscay. But we are approaching some convoy routes now. Of course, off to 180. It is our baffles. We are still using the old GHG hydrophones, which do have considerable blind spots. Now, there are new hydrophones available which hopefully we can get equipped on our boat eventually. But for now, we are using what we have. Other pieces of equipment that would be nice to have is T4 or 5 homing torpedoes. Unfortunately, we were not able to acquire one of those before we set out. So we are using pretty much your standard loadout of torpedoes. We do have a couple of fat torpedoes, which have the ladder search pattern for engaging convoys. We do unfortunately still have some G7A torpedoes down here as well. Old-fashioned, but reliable. At least there is that. If we attack at night, we will be utilizing those. We do have the deck guns still. Despite everything, it's about time we get rid of that thing. It's more of a liability than anything really now. The amount of times we've used the deck gun, I believe, is exactly 1 time so far. And I don't really see us using it too much in the future, considering how heavily armed a lot of merchant ships are. Anyway, we didn't pick anything up in our hydrophone check. We are going to just completely come up to the surface and continue on our patrol. Hopefully we do find something in grid DH. If we do stumble across a contact, you folks will be the first to know. Well, folks, it would seem opting to stay down south and patrol off the Spanish coast has paid off. We have made contact with the convoy, and they are pretty much right in front of us. We need to change course maybe 10 degrees. Come right, just 10 degrees. And there we go, hydrophone operators picking them up, moving away. Brace the observation scope. Let's take a quick look topside. And see, can I see anything out there? No, they're moving away. We are going to have to charge them down. We should be able to overtake them on the surface. The sea state, though, it is very, very smooth. It's as calm as glass out there. It's going to be very, very easy to be spotted. Okay, down observation scope, all ahead full, surface the boat. The plan is to chase the convoy down. We will do another sound check in about 15 minutes or so. Okay, I was just about to submerge the boat and our watch officer has spotted the convoy on the horizon. Wow, heading straight for us. Destroyer right there. Okay, concerning, but this kind of makes our job a little easier, doesn't it? Bring up the Uzo. Where's that destroyer? Now, it's also mildly concerning that we have not picked up any radar signals. What is the nearest warship? They're saying 017, 018. Yeah, probably that destroyer emerging from the fog. Okay, so we are heading 210. All right, let's mark this down here. They are, convoys pretty much heading directly at us, heading 020. I'm going to assume they are going at a speed of 7 knots. Let's slow down. Let's plug this stuff into the TDC. Okay, they are heading, what did I say, 060? 020.
Schiff gesichtet.
Yeah, you know what? Close enough for me. I'm gonna go 030. Okay, 030, speed 7 knots. We're just going to blast this off the BDU before submerging. Where's the destroyer? Okay, there she is. Lock onto that friend. And then send a contact report. Okay. Report sent. I think it's time we dive. Let me make sure this went off. It did. Estimated speed 0 knots. I thought I plugged in 7. We'll send another one. Send that correction. Report. Send contact report. There we go. Another report. Send down to periscope depth. Alrighty, we are dropping down now. I would like to go to attack scope depth, please. Also, RPM. Just slow it down a little bit. There we go. Nice and quiet. No need to rush things. We should be able to receive radio messages down here. We'll see what BDU wants us to do. They give us freedom of maneuver to attack. We are, of course, already in a good position. Although it would be interesting if they want us to be the beacon boat and to provide updates on the convoy. We are in a solid position. It looks like the farthest lane of the convoy is here off the 035 degrees. Maybe a warship out there off to 047. Other than that, all I see is this one destroyer in the lead. This is a fairly unescorted convoy. Quite remarkable to see. Okay, I'm thinking what we want to do is make a course change. Probably 20 degrees to starboard. So we can pass along that escort, hopefully undetected. We have 3 G7E torpedoes and 1 G7A that is a FAT. That's going to leave a bubble trail on the surface, so we are going to fire that last. Tube 5 also has a G7E torpedo in it. Okay, down scope. Like I said, 20 degree turn to starboard. Make it so. It's been quite some time. We are going to pop up the scope and take a look. Let's see. Oh, hello. Am I crazy, or does the convoy look even further away? No, they're still closing. I kind of want to change course again, I think. Let's come right. Is that destroyer? I just do not like looking at that. This is a large convoy. It does look interesting, though. Any other warships? Nope, I still have nothing. They are moving pretty slow. They may be going something like 5 knots, honestly. Let's rig for silent running. Avoid getting detected by that warship in the front.
Kontakt, Kriegsschiff, kommt näher auf 348, große Entfernung.
Well, we just got a radio message from BDU. We've been ordered to attack at our discretion, so that means we are going to set up for an attack now. I've turned even further to the west. I'm hoping we can avoid that leading escort. It looked like she was heading directly for us. Merchant ships are still continuing to close. They're still too far away to really judge speed. But this destroyer here in the lead, I mean, she's booking it. She is zigzagging around as well. Any other warships? There's one. A corvette. Way over there. Okay. Can't pick out any real big targets in the convoy just yet. We are definitely going to prioritize some of this big stuff. It does look like there is a handful of C3 cargo ships in the convoy. Let's drop the scope. We can use the C3 as a basis. Let's find it. T2, C3 cargo, length 152 meters. The convoy is starting to get nice and close. Oh, hello. She is listening. The destroyer is listening. All stop. There's another destroyer. 285. Looks like a hunt class. This looks like a tribal. That is ominous. There's the Corvette off to 010. That looks like a tanker though, right there. That's the priority target. I am not enjoying this. Okay, down scope. Hopefully she starts moving soon. I want to have my hydrophone operator see what's the nearest warship. 301. That's our friend. Moving away. Increasing speed. Oh boy, come on. Keep turning. I don't like that. She's moving quickly. Let's start crawling 2 knots again. She's coming right at us. It looks like she's continuing her turn. Right? Okay. Report nearest warship. Moving slow, 305. That destroyer did not look like she was moving slow. Oh, she is now. She slowed down. Okay. Alright, hopefully we can make it past her. She is, the crew on that warship is quite vigilant.
Kriegsschiff auf 295 entfernt sich.
That destroyer is passing alongside us and doesn't look like they realize we're here. I think we've snuck in through the escort's defenses once again undetected. Kind of impressive. Very, very lucky. Still have a ways to go before the convoy is in a optimal firing position though. Okay, time to pop up the scope once again. The escort should be off to like 250 or so. Okay, 28, no? Okay, we're going to need to swing to port. There she is, 200. Okay, hard to port. Good, good, good. Look at all of them. T2 tanker there. Let's find that in the recognition manual. I'm going to send 2 fish her way. Tanker, tanker, tanker. That's probably at the front. And I just skipped it. Medium tanker, T2 tanker. Yes. That is you. And then C3 cargoes. We'll use one of these as our basis for establishing the speed of the convoy, maybe. I mean, there's one here. Any other C3 cargoes in a good position? There's a Liberty ship behind us. Honestly, this guy could have been a good fit. Okay, not as many C3 cargo ships as I thought. Let's increase speed 2 knots. We need to swing around quickly, quickly, quickly. Where's our tanker friend? There she is. All these ships are relatively unique. Let's see. Can I find anything similar to this? Yeah, Empire type freighter. Length 141 meters. That'll do. That'll do. Downscope. We need to keep swinging the port here. But we should be able to position ourselves so we're essentially at a 90-degree angle. We should be in the wake of those warships as well, so we can probably speed up just a little bit. Okay, 2.5 knots. Give it a little more juice. We should be okay. We're closing in on the convoy. Things are going to start getting loud. We're in the wake of the destroyers. I think we've made it past the worst of it. Okay, up scope. Okay, slowly swinging around. Good. Okay, that is what we are going to use to establish speed. I have a warship over there up to 310. This tribal is the closest one. And then there's a flower that's going to be behind us. A very lightly defended convoy compared to what we encountered previously. I mean, only, I guess, 3 warships in the lead, but this convoy is so massive that that is not enough coverage. Are there any warships in the rear? There has to be. Yeah, there's one back there. Okay. Get ready to steady on up. Start easing the turn. Don't want to oversteer too much here. Okay, looking good. We have the Uyagd here that we can use. The freighter's length is 141. Let's bring out our fixed wire chart here. Okay, rudder amidships. We may have to, yeah, we need to keep turning. Keep turning. Keep turning to port. Okay, while we're doing that, I can quickly adjust some of this angle on bow. 70 degrees port, range 2 kilometers. I'm assuming they're going 7 knots. Lock it in. Okay, rudder amidships. Good. We need to wait a little bit. Make sure we're not going to collide with anything. It doesn't look like it. And it seems like that's the only tanker in the entire convoy. Okay, we are just going to wait a handful of seconds. We are going to use the fixed wire method to establish the target speed. Getting ready and mark. Okay, we've started. Target length 141. So we're going to use this 140 meter scale. Let's see how long it takes for this vessel to cross the wire. Bow to stern. Drop the scope just a little bit. It is so smooth out there. It's going to be pretty easy to spot our periscope. This is a valuable target as well. 6,000 ton draft, 6 meters. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, get ready to stop our stopwatch. And mark. Okay, 44 seconds. 44, 45. Let's see. 44 seconds. That gives us 6 knots. 45, 6. Okay, they're going 6 knots, huh? Okay. I think we can make that work. 6 knots. Let's come left just a little bit. Or to port. Destroyer still moving away. Corvette's back there, just hanging out. Oh, look at that big C3 right behind us. That may be a good target for tube number 5. Okay, rudder amidships. And I may want to adjust the starboard just a little bit. Downscope. Okay, tubes 1 and 2. Let's find the T2 tanker's draft. What is the draft of a T2 tanker? We're going to fire those first 2 eels at her. Draft 10. Okay, set torpedo depth to 10 meters on tubes 1 and 2. Magnetic pistol on both. Okay, set tube 3. This is our fat. We are going to set it 8 meters magnetic. Tube 4, 8 meters magnetic. Tube 5, we can set 8 as well. 8.5 C2 cargo, C3 cargo 7.5, 8 meters, fine. I can do 8.5 on that, if that is in fact what I'm firing at. Upscope, rudder amidships. Okay, good. Steady up on this turn. We are going to do one more speed reading. just double check all of our results here. Okay. We need to properly set up our fat torpedo. Okay, reset that. Angle on bow's looking pretty damn good. 90 degrees here. Maybe, Mark, add a second onto this. I started a tad late. Okay, we'll do this first before adjusting everything else. Then I need to figure out the range to target. At least for the first one. The tanker. Okay, 141. Passing 40 seconds now. And mark. Okay, this time I got 46 seconds. If I'm adding an extra second. 46 gives us 5.9 knots. We're using 6 knots. Okay. Go to the TDC. Target speed 6 knots. Angle on bow 80 degrees port, range 2 kilometers set. Fat torpedo. Okay, this fat torpedo. We're gonna have its run be relatively short here. There we go. I like the long legs. I think that's going to help us out. Yeah, let's use the long legs. And 2 kilometers after the run. That being said, we want this to switch sides. There we go. Good. Okay. Perfect. Make sure it's slaved. Let me see. Okay, we're good. Upscope. Tanker. Get a quick reading on mast height. I'm getting 70 centiradians. And it's going to be a little closer. Let me quickly... Where's the tanker? Gosh, we're so close. Okay. Go to the tanker. Mast height 33. Okay, target height 30. And it takes up... What did I say? Zoomed in. 60. God, I'm already forgetting. 50. Okay, zoomed out. Oh, we'll do zoomed in. Yeah, 70. Okay, 70 centiradians, 30 meter mast height, 1.5 kilometers. She's going to be about 1 kilometer out by the time we fire. We'll set everything up as a salvo. Tube 1. I want to open tubes. Could open all of them. I think everything's set up here. A-okay. But open tubes 1, 2, and 4. Okay, torpedo tubes opened. Angle on bow here. I'm thinking 45. Was it automatically set? Yeah, okay, we got it locked in pretty good. Let's come left just a little bit. That tanker's going to be pretty close by the time we fire. Is there anything behind us that I can shoot at first? Pop the scope up. So let's make sure we're avoiding a collision. We are. Okay, off to 180. That Liberty ship's probably going to be a little further away. We'll go after that. Okay, Liberty ship. And then tanker. Down scope. And come to a stop. I'll stop. 7 meters. For tube 5. Open tube 5. There's a merchant ship crossing right in front of us. We are going to wait for that to cross and then we fire. Okay, that merchant ship is gone. Upscope. Behind us. Where is it? Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Where the hell did it go? Is that it? That's it. Okay. Block. Angle on bow. 90. Set. Range 1. Tube 5. Close. Okay, tube 5 away. In front. Jesus, that thing's too freaking close. Tanker, tanker, tanker. Okay, tube 1 set. Angle on bow. Adjust it. 70 port set. Range 1. Tube 1. Right there. Tube 1. Los. Tube 2. Adjust right. Tube 2. Wait a second. Tube 2. Los. Good. Downscope. That's 3 torpedoes away. Do I want to fire something else? Let's get on the move. Start moving forward. Yeah. Okay, we need to get out of this convoy lane. That's one thing for sure. 3 torpedoes, you know, that's a pretty damn good attack. Nothing else really looks worth shooting at. Let's get out of here. Down to 80.
Kontakt, Frachter, entfernt sich auf 3, 4, 5. Große Entfernung. Torpedotreffer! Wir haben ihn! Wir haben ihn! Leise! Treffer! Derzeitige Tiefe 2-0.
Okay, 3 torpedoes, 3 hits. Let's start moving. 3 knots down to 150 meters. Please and thank you. It is time to get the hell out of here. That attack could not have gone better.
Derzeitige Tiefe 7-0.
Hearing a whole bunch of merchant ships directly above us, but no sign of warships. No Aztec, nothing like that yet. I don't think they know where the hell we are. I think we may be able to get out of this one without being scratched, which is nothing short of a miracle. We only fired off 3 torpedoes during that attack. What are we automatically loading? Probably, it looks like actually G7A torpedoes are most likely being loaded into our forward tubes. That's okay, we can reshuffle them later. We are going to continue to go deeper and just continue to head away from the convoy. We are pretty much taking up an opposite course of the convoy. They are heading 020, and we are going to head about 240-ish, something like this. Hopefully, we remain undetected, though. It would be nice not to be death charged after an attack for once. The escorts, seemingly, have maneuvered past us. I think we are clear. We are going to increase speed. Hydrophone operator, give me a report on the nearest warship. 255 medium range. All right, let's come up to periscope depth. It's going to take ages to come up to PD, since we are nice and deep, but we are going to pop up just to take a look. Now the question is, do I want to re-engage this convoy or continue on with our main objective? We fired off 3 torpedoes. The U-tanker can probably replenish those 3 torpedoes. Now, depending on their stores, we aren't going to get a full complement of torpedoes back. We will get, you know, topped off on fuel and food and stuff, but the torpedoes, they may not give us all of these back. So I don't want to expend everything we got before heading over to the American coast. So it may be a good idea to disengage. It's something I'm going to have to think about. This convoy, it does seem like the escorts are relatively green though. And that is rare at this point in the war. That is very, very rare. That is one reason I'm halfway tempted to re-engage again and maybe fire off a couple more torpedoes. Something to think about. We are back at periscope depth. Let's do a quick check. I think the coast is clear though. Hydrophone operator continues to report that the warships and merchant ships are heading away slowly. Yep, there they all are. Okay, do a quick scan. Nothing is right next to us. I can hardly believe it. We made it out of here without being depth charged. What a lucky, lucky day for U-960. Okay, we are going to continue on this heading. We're going to give it a little bit of time before we begin reloading torpedoes and hit the surface. And in that time, I need to decide if I'm going to re-engage. That decision, though, is going to have to wait until the next episode, folks. I do hope you all enjoyed this one. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment, as it really does help out the channel. But until next time, this is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I will see you all on the next one.